Hello and welcome. It is the completion of the 6th day of July 2019. This is the Money Charts channel. My name is Derek. Welcome. All bets trades of the like within each's own risk and their own reward. 10:48 p.m. Eastern Time. As I'm now 10:49, 22:49 as I'm doing this video. Okay. So I did one earlier about like what's up with this Fibonacci. I mean, I just haven't really seen anything like this. How a market would consolidate like this. This above it, but now it's doing it. I know it's interesting. It is what it is. And Bitcoin, it's just meh, sideways until I mean, it's got to break out of this short-term range. Then it's got to get above this high. If we make a low below here, we got a 3x hit, our third hit test of this level, and then breaking down below that, the 98, and well, yada yada yada. As far as what that is concerned, let's take a look at a few altcoins mainly. First off, Ripple, which on the single hour term time frame, put a line roughly around here. I guess I could even put it here. And it's in color green now with the line there, but that's just because that's where price action happens to be right now, which is this level of resistance. And it had a nice breakout earlier this morning, 10 o'clock. Breaking out to the 3588, but pulling back quickly, pulling back fast, and now it's been supporting for quite some time since its immediate pullback at this area where it came from, and thus correcting within the 18. Even a little small one, this little small little pump and dump in here, and again, just consolidating for where it came from. If you take a look at this on the 5-minute term, it took several 5-minute periods to make it to that top, but consistently one by one by one period with not many red ones. There's one right here. And just so we can see it a little clearer, because of this, I could always go like that and go like this. And then for the time being, we can take a little clearer look. But yeah, the straight move up, and here just a few periods to bring it up, back down. Another attempt to bring it up, back down. What are we seeing right now? Another attempt to bring it up. We'll see how this attempt pans out within it. When we take a look at this on the daily chart, it has been just going down, 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 down. And within it, I bought more today. I pretty much doubled my holdings of it as I was trading this, and I still am, against that of Theta. But I bought some more. I'll trade against Litecoin as well because I think Ripple's going to be doing very well, and I think altcoins. And I'm gonna say ASAP. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens by early next week. If it's not gonna happen into the weekend session, which I guess we'd be heading into Sunday, so Sunday session. If it doesn't happen Sunday, I would be very surprised, but whatever. It's not like I haven't been surprised this way before when things don't happen. But I would not be shocked anyway on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, starting Sunday, whatever. If a lot of these altcoins really start what I think will be multi-week bull market rally, where we'll see a lot of coins against the dollar anyway, going up 5, 10, 15, 10, 10, 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 times, depending on, of course, the coin against the dollar. Let's now move on to waves. And there was someone way back here who decided to sell on April the 17th, and they sold it down quite low. Maybe they should have. If you want to sell a lot, you just don't sell it all down. You sell it bits and pieces at a time, multiple exchanges if need be, and you get the best price you can if you really have a large amount and you need to liquidate it. I don't know if you want to call that lazy trading, but it cost you a decent amount of Bitcoin in the end. So, yeah, very much lazy trading. And they even give you a warning if you're going to sell it down like this much. Are you sure you want to do it? And I guess people still do. But as it goes here on the daily term, price action, of course, following the last time it hit the 18 on June the 14th, and it had this failed breakout here on May the 23rd. Okay, so what has happened since? Straight down decline. Okay, that's what markets do. And then after that, sideways action comes up to the 18 in the session, really today, and then we're seeing further through green candle. This market's only open. Markets have only been open for 3 hours right now. On the 4 hour term time frame, we can see just how heavy this volatility is coming in here. As this comes up, couple sideways in here after the downward pressure is done, and we're getting continuation within this candle, 1 hour to go, which means we're 3/4 of the way through. And within it, we can see in here, okay, this meets up within the 18 on the daily, or on the, excuse me, hourly. Did it come back to anywhere where it came from? No, but it did go to the 18. And then the exitation of it on the 20-hour timestamp, holding it, going a bit below it, then closing at the 18 highs, and then leaving it within this period in here, just for something to do. I'm just going to see how accurate or how fine this is going to look. I'm just going to draw a line like that, and it's not going to hit, but just so we can see on the 15 what this meant. This little area here, of course, worked out to be where that 18 average on the hourly would have been. So during this consolidation period in here, that's when it was leaving it within this move here. But at the same point in here, as it gets above it, corrects it, same things happening on both charts at the same time frame, showing a lot of nice situational strength coming out, breaking that level of resistance. It's enough to turn this into a bull market on this time frame. As you're going below the 18 lows, there you're flat. Okay, there's your resistance established, coming back, and then the breakout would have happened the previous period, probably roughly in the area of where the price is now. 5 minute term time frame, there we have more in the breakout, coming back to where we'd come from. I'd expect to be going to 1806. Now let's cross it over to theta, starting off within its 5 minute term time frame, price action 1074 Satoshi. As we had this nice little run up earlier this afternoon from the low in here at the barely over 1000 handle, going from 1013 just straight up to the 1085 handles, or 72 point differential, about 7%, 6% of a price move. So yeah, about 7%. It's actually 1012, so 1006%. Either way, just a beautiful straight up move. How has it reacted, consolidated to it? Well, it's went sideways. It's had all this empty space. It's filled it so far down to here. Second test of this. So what we've seen was, as far as this high was concerned, price action after this low gets above it and most certainly establishes this level of resistance below previous high. And it's also its first move since re-escaping back above the 18. And a lot of time where it's consolidating within it, in here, and then the breakout. The breakout happened in here. So that, yeah, this is looking like that possibility of that failed breakout, but it was also one of those attempts for it to resume that bull run. Obviously, after the top, it successfully had a little bit of a correctionary move, just trying to redo it again, not quite obviously happening, and then another leg lower. But what has happened now is, as a prolonged test amongst this time frame at this level, and we've had a pretty decent test already here, test number 2 within it. So all of this this still might not fail when it comes down to it, as far as this might not be a failed move fast move. Because if it's not a failed move fast move, and I mean a fast move is pretty much just coming down to here. But if it's not that, then it's going to be making some price action, and thus it'll be again resuming that attempt. But in the meanwhile, within this, support heavily established in this area, and resistance, well, it's now started to be as well, roughly around in here. when viewing it at the 15-minute term time frame, putting a line in here, we can see that price action did come back. Was there any other areas that it came back to within this point? Yeah, I'd have to say that roughly around here, though, would be the biggest one. No, it hasn't came there. So if there's going to be any little bit of a move lower, I mean, that's no big deal if it comes to 1050 based on coming back to where it came from for. That would be, I didn't even have to go 1049. I have to go one pierce lower. And to say that I got an exact number and I don't want to go a number lower, well, that's exactly what it is 1049. For the amount of times in which it has consolidated, resisted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll go 6, 7, 8. So on test number 9, it took it through. So far, all of this is consolidating amongst it. Hasn't completely went back to where really the upper end of this range comes from, with even a little bit in here. But I would like to save this for pierce moves. If it of course is going to down. When I say a pierce move, that means it comes down here and then like within like a short period of time it just comes back like that. Now switching up to the single hour term. As within this we can see the 18 starting to rise, and this line in here, that's an alert for me in case it goes above that 1117 handle, that it deserves my attention, because I think that's in the area of where resistance will come into play. I trade this against many different other coins, including the waves that was just recently shown. But then the decline comes down in here. The bottoms in here, we can see there was some lows a little bit lower than this. So this is a higher low to here. This is right now, of course, we're lowered right now so far to here. We're trying to either make a successful lower high to here, which means come up here somewhere and then find another higher low. Or, of course, at least make a matching high. But when you're coming off a higher low, then from here to here, then that's what you usually expect to do, is at least do that. If you make a matching high, which is south of the 1200 handle, and then there's nothing wrong with pulling back, even as deep to where we are now. But if it comes up here back to this is a major key area, of course, so that's why I would say as deep as to it. Ideally, of course, if there's going to be any type of better pullbacks as far as not going down as much, which to me better is farther, but as far as price action is concerned and not going down as much, that is, not as big of a correction might be, well, maybe we'll establish some level where this line is or somewhere around here. Maybe it just goes sideways through time, and then if it gets there, it could easily just end up taking that out. Amongst this on the 4-hour term time frame, this would bring the interesting cup and handle style a move. If we get up to this previous level of resistance, breaking above this neckline, well, we'd be filling some of this empty space. And one of the ideal places I'd be looking for would be about a 61.8% correctionary or retracement move. But a decent one nonetheless. There'd be a pretty good gap getting above 12. I mean, the 14s, you have to think at least a couple hundred, or at least I'm thinking at least like 1465 area conservatively, if not even into the 1500s as its next leg higher when looking at this via that of the the 4-hour term time frame. And so there we have it there. Well, I guess that's as far as this and the moving average is concerned. I'm just cross days with this line, so I'm not used to having one in the area. But price action has been stuck for a long time within here. This period here had an attempt to break out. It obviously was rejected really quickly because it closed at the closes and a full red candle down to the lows, but that was to where it was. The 18 lows, the low of this area, this previous low in here, and on this breakout that we got going now with an hour, less than an hour to go, so again another 3/4 of the way through, as all the 4-hour charts would be, we have a hold period at a very crucial time. And to do this amongst the 18 average of highs, I think going into the next period, or going into it's 11 p.m., so going into the next like early hours, 2, 3 in the morning, or basically Normal wake up time in Europe, depending, it's different for each person and where you are, of course. But I would really like to see this market make a significant higher low into here. Maybe hold where we came from. So if there's going to be any more pullbacks, 1039 area, ballpark 1037, I would like to see hold. Maybe coincide with the newly rising 18 average. But even then, I don't even think it needs that. This thing to me could be ready to go at any time. And that keyword is obviously could. Because again, on the single hour term time frame, we've had this nice little move. And then as I've mentioned before in here at this 10, this point in here, that this to me looks like a normal comeback spot as it is anyway. And short term, it just may do that. And on the daily chart, I mean, we've seen these moves before. Big move here, big move here. I wouldn't be surprised if the next big move is coming again very, very soon, as we, July, August. Now let's continue on with Komodo, because I think I had that this morning. If not, I'm going to talk about Komodo, but I'm pretty sure I talked about it. 1632, and on the daily term time frame from the 18 average of lows in here. First, it made a lower high to here, and definitely a lower high to here. That's been so expected. But the higher low here, that was just so important. And you can see how you come back to previous high and you take it out convincingly. Enough where we have this little bit of this little pause. I mean, you gotta expand the time frame because you really can't call it a pause period because it had a good up move, it had a good down move, but it was a good correctionary move because no, you can almost look at it as if it closed to this high and then it came right back to where it came from, came right to the 18 highs. If we look at this on the daily term time frame, this is a comeback in here, another one in here, and now this period, of course, past the 3/4 mark, breaking out. Single hour term, consistent over the last several hours since the bottom in here, really. Well, definitely six consecutive completed green candles so far. 10 minutes almost into this one. This one is successfully moving bullishly and to that spot and normal situational spots and normal situational event to take place. And what's the normal event? Well, first getting there. But of course, when it gets there, it's going to be nicely, vastly extended in some form. And this is the some form here. I don't know. Maybe we pull back to this area here. Nothing wrong with that. If it comes to 1542 and lifts off, it'll coincide with the 18. And maybe even come a bit further down to 1505 and coincide with that. And the 18 lows, maybe pierce a little below the 18 lows as well. Maybe. Maybe it doesn't even go that far. Maybe it does hold with the 18 highs. Well, I guess 18 highs would be coming back to the 1548. Maybe it just goes sideways like this for the next 2-3 hours. Find some support maybe at 1574 and maybe even resist a bit higher in this area. But then maybe it'll take it out. These are all the situations that come into place. This was a very successful correction. You got to give it the benefit of the doubt for that. And a successful exitation of the 18. Okay, where do we stand now that it hit its test? Because leaving the 18, I'm looking for previous high test, and that's where we are. So now the test for that is on play, and it's just brand new into it. 4 hour term time frame. Did we just go to that? Yeah, I already did the 4 hour. I thought. So yeah, based on this high and based on where we came from in here, 15. This thing first got going at 7:45 p.m. Goes sideways for a bit. Small up move, sideways for a bit. Small up move, sideways for a bit. Wow, this is just a fantastic last two periods. So let's try to figure out that there. Let's just go right to the one. Okay, this comes in on monster volume. I mean, I almost want to day trade this. I think I will. Somebody buys here on big volume. Now it's consolidating and just a nice little pullback in here. Yeah, I'm trying to think more and more. I mean, when I see big moves like this happen on large volume, let's compare this volume now to previous volume just so I can get a better understanding. That's still pretty decent, but that's all it is. I'm comparing it with this. What's the size of the volume? I guess I gotta bring this back like this. Okay, we got 126. And then 2.39 thousand. 126 is a small number of whatever. 126 Bitcoin, yeah, right. 43,391. Well, how many do I own? Huh? A noticeable fraction of that. That's not too big, really. No, it's not that big. Let me just figure that out. 43,339. 1, 2, 3. 7 Bitcoin worth. Well, somebody wanted to make a nice little buy. But you know what? I just think it's the start of all of these rallies. So when I say day trade, basically what that means for me, and it's not that large of a fund, and I've been lazy enough where I haven't done any in like a week or so, and it's just because of the word lazy. I just haven't even looked for any. That's basically my Binance coin. And I'll just flip it for whatever. Right now it's BNB. It is that of Binance coin. If I sell the Binance coin, I'll sell about like just enough to know that I can cover whatever trades are after that. So that's really what. Yeah. So if I end up, of course, selling it for whatever, then I'll leave enough for blah blah blah. Put it back and forth and just see what I can do with it. But big buy comes in, and then this here, everything's on the lower volume. Yeah, really nothing else to say here other than just let the ratios for me play out. So what I'll do is I'll sort these by chronological order, and I will get my spreadsheet. Just go like that. See it so that you can, there we go. And then put the new prices in. So Cardano up only 3 basis points. That's a 0.5%, nothing really. And then ARC was 398, now it's 400, another 0.5%. Cosmos or Atom 47.28, now it's 47.32. That's not even worth changing at 4 points. Bitcoin Cash 3601 handle, now it's the 3598 handle, not even worth changing. Bitcoin was 11,200, now it's 11,014. So go like that. Which doesn't affect my ratio, it just affects my portfolio. Dash was 1380. Now Dash is 1379, not worth changing. DGB is up 1 basis point. And 1 basis point is pretty much close to 1% when you're 110. And a lot of times you're going to try to play around with the best numbers. And I do that with all the markets. I'll try to see if I can get a good price. ETC is 699. Gold Chain says 142, so it's up 1 basis point. GRS is 3211. Not much of a decline, just 1/3%. Komodo, so there's 1608. Litecoin, 1060 basically there. Neo, so we got 1495, so up like 1/3%. It wasn't that long ago that I changed these. 427. Skycoin 141. Now we have Theta Fuel at 91. Theta itself at 1072. Tron at 287. Waves at 1809. Well, that's a big decline from the 62. I wonder if they'll give me a buyback. No, give me a buyback at 09. XLM 921. And Ripple 34.79. I'd like to see that going up because I did make I doubled my portfolio of Ripple. Making another and buying it with Bitcoin. That's what I do. At least this time, that's what I did. So I look at them at 5. So I'm looking at Bitcoin Cash and DGB. Ratio is going down. That means DGB is overperforming. That means I'd be selling it for it. But I'm just looking at that ratio. I'm looking at Litecoin Atom at 511. At over 7, I'm looking to trade, and I'm actually wanting to get 8 on this one. It's been over 7 all day, pretty much. So I've been keeping that flat. I had some nice. Uh, I didn't did I have many Litecoin trades earlier. I don't think I did actually. No, no, I didn't sell Litecoin earlier because the last I remember is actually I withdrew all my Litecoin actually off of Binance earlier because I've been buying a bit recently. So anyway, you can see a bunch of the zeros, twos, and 1%. They mean nothing for me. Even 4, 6. Okay, they're close to being looked at. Litecoin theta going down. So if theta overperforms Litecoin, I'll be looking to sell Litecoin for it. And then we have Tron going down against Litecoin. The current price is the one on the left. This is what I last traded at in the middle. So it's going down. I'd be looking to sell Tron. But again, 4.7 is just not that. And then these zero point 0.6s in there are just all over the place. 5 in a row. A 316 on Sky Gold, but Wave stayed at 1475. It's so I'm looking to sell waves to buy theta, but it needs to go up a little bit higher. And now let's complete this with Neo. I guess it's a Chinese Ethereum as it's been called before. A 1 minute term time frame, and just the shortest of terms. Let's go zoom. Although I probably won't do the monthly or the weekly. I'll go to the daily. I might go to the weekly. I doubt it though. Okay, so resistance in here, back down to this level of support and breaking it. You know what? This thing, well, we're at highs not seen in several periods. At least it's like 20 hours. Right now we're at 23. That's over 3 hour highs that we were approaching. Okay, nice little comeback, I guess you can call that. 5 minutes, we're starting to see it revert and trade over here. Okay. We have key high, we have key low. We have key high, we have key low. This key low is higher than that key low. But this high was lower than that one. And right now, this is still lower than this. So as long as price action remains below this and above this, we will definitely be remaining symmetrical. But until then, we see how it's looking to make it. Like that's where my next test would come in. Maybe a little bit of resistance here at around the 1508 mark, but I'm looking for that 2x test of 1517 up to 1520 to come back and play before we go ahead and talk about it next level at 1527. Before then, on the 15-minute term before that 1527 high, we have this high in at 1555. So I guess the next resistance, looking at it from here, is between this whole range, between 1520 and 1527. Breaking it above that, it would look like it would come in at 1556. On the single term hour time frame, this 1556 area would be pretty big because getting above this, we probably have a fast move, most likely up to about 1630, 1635, I would be thinking, because we got this high, which is most certainly higher than all of these. Thus, a lot of empty space from this point to this point, and about a 61% retracement would coincide with around this area as well. 4 hour term, very, very sideways and choppiness along the way because this level of resistance is a multiple hit level. This level of support we're coming off of now is a pretty big level of support that was tested in here. Each time it was tested twice, I can say, in the sense that it had two tests in here with, of course, this one, and then this test, and then the one it's still currently having right now, and that of that second one. But then overall, we got this kilo, which of course this is the in between. All of these hits right now in here, and it's just looking as if they're even going to coincide with even some more data as well. Let's move this to the daily term and see how this goes. It's just this long sideways consolidation, and it's doing it after this much bigger high here, of course, at the 28. So I've talked about all of those bigger highs and all of this empty space that it can fill in. Well, this one here is, well, 61.8%. We're looking, well, let's just get the exact number on this one because this one I don't mind calculating because of its importancy, how important it is, meaning all the short-term nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense, but it is. I mean, for me, it's just the ratio trade for me, but 27.43 is a high. Let me just get my calculator up. If you're interested in this calculator, Google search my channel name Money Charts and Fibonacci Calculator, and you should see the video for how to download the code for this. I really haven't changed this in years, it seems. Okay, 2740. Yep, 2743. And then we'll go with this low in here of, looks like 1209. So the 61.8 comes in at the 2000 handle. Before that, 1653. So the 1653 most certainly is acting out like it should. I mean, come on. Like, the fact that this Fibonacci is hating like it is, it's just luck. That's all it is. And it's Fibonacci doing its thing. Yeah, it's also that too. 2006, and it usually pierces extra. So I'd be looking for 2048, 20, that area there, as where it would go to. And probably very fast after its move, getting above it. Now, is there any reason to show the weekly? Yes, there is. Actually, this is the monthly, yada yada for that, nothing there. And within the weekly in here, a 61.8% takes you again. And this low, by the way, which I instead was significantly higher than this. Yeah, this high here. Yeah, it's significantly higher than that. As is this high, as is this one as well. So in calculating even further Fibonacci, I already got the low already on this my calculator. We got a high here of 14,490, 15,002 or 15,2 handle. Some more even longer term Fibonacci key levels 3180, piercing above. So that would be to about here on any moves, which is just a small move above this high. And if it pierces extra nice, you're probably looking at about 35 or so. And then after that, we're looking at 57.79 as what would be a 61.8% level, most likely making it up between 61.95 and 7,000 on any rallies that can come up to that level. Alrighty then, another long video. Well, it's been a couple days since I've pulled off one of those half-hour videos. But it's hard for me to tell because I'm really looking at this number here. Yeah, it looks like 33 to me. And I don't know how to increase this font. I know how to increase this font. I've seen some people with using TradingView, but doing YouTube videos, and it seems that every single one of them have it in numbers that I can't read. I can read my numbers because I change my fonts. I can read my dates below because I change my fonts to what I think is the perfect font for me to read it. Now I'm looking at it from the perspective of my eyes, which is on a TV screen, not a regular computer monitor. It's an it's not a big screen TV. It's a normal size. How many inches high? Like, I don't know, at least 2 feet high, and at least three to 3.5 feet wide. I don't know, but I'm about 11 feet away from it. Alrighty then. Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, I'm just saying that because that's to make it view from my perspective. This is what makes it look best for me. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.